Every single living thing in the world can be divided into 6 separate groups or kingdoms based on how many cells they're made out of, how they gain energy, and how they reproduce. Each of the kingdoms are classified into an even larger category called domains. The first kingdom to talk about is archaebacteria, belonging to its own separate domain of the same name. Archaebacteria are known for having single-cell organisms without a nucleus, which is where the DNA is kept, and no membrane-bound organelles, which carry out all of the more complex processes in the cell. This means that archaebacteria are prokaryotic and are very simple and small. They can gain their energy by interacting with many different molecules in the environment, like taking energy from underwater heat vents or utilizing hydrogen gas. The 3 main types of archaebacteria include methanogens, halophiles, and thermoacidophiles. Unlike normal bacteria, archaebacteria also have different lipids or fat that make up their cell membranes, and it is these that allow them to survive in their uniquely extreme environments, like boiling sea vents or acidic pools. The second kingdom is eubacteria, which, despite their common name, is very different from archaebacteria and is very diverse. Similar to archaebacteria, however, eubacteria also have single-cell prokaryotic organisms that lack a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, and are diverse enough to have their own domain of the same name. They gain their energy by basic molecule conversions and decomposing dead material or waste, like doing photosynthesis or using the nutrients of a dead animal. Similar to plants, they have cell walls, which gives the support to the structure of the cell and protection from outside elements. Some types of bacteria you may know of are E. coli, Salmonella, and tuberculosis, all of which are very common types of bacteria that infect people and make them sick. Uniquely, bacteria are present on nearly every surface of the earth and are the most abundant kingdom.
Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to be talking about the third and fourth kingdoms of life. I'm currently out back behind my house right now. It's very cold out, so my hands might be a little bit shaky, but I'll make do with what I got. So the third kingdom of life is Kingdom Protista, and consists of all the eukaryotic cells that are not animals, plants, or fungi, as well as a very large assortment of single-celled organisms, making it very diverse. Protists can be found in watery environments such as oceans, ponds, lakes, puddles, and other forms of still water. Protists can gain energy through many different ways, including engulfing their food, which is primarily bacteria and other protists, absorbing energy from sunlight, also known as photosynthesis, or by breaking down dead or decaying organic material, such as like dead animals and stuff. The protists that don't photosynthesize either eat and digest their food internally or secrete enzymes to digest their food outside of their bodies and then eat the already digested foods. Protists feature a much greater increase in their range and sizes, ranging from only 3 micromoles, which is 1/millionth of a mole, to several centimeters. The fourth kingdom, which I see all around me right now, is Kingdom Plantae, and consists of, well, plants. Right? All plants are multicellular, with each cell having a cell wall made of cellulose with multiple purposes, ranging from simple structural support to helping form channels for fluids such as water to move through. Aside from a few rare exceptions, such as the ghost pipe plant, virtually all plants photosynthesize, meaning they use sunlight to convert water, carbon dioxide, and minerals into energy, which they use to survive. Some common plants you probably see every day include grass, maple trees, and bracken ferns, which I can actually see some right now. Let's see if I can just move that over there. I don't know if you can see them or not. So something pretty interesting about plants is that they can react differently to certain vibrations by producing chemicals from things such as a gust of wind, a crawling caterpillar, or even music. Though music or talking nicely to your plant will not help the plant grow faster as many people believe it will. Alright, see ya.
The fifth kingdom is Animalia, or sometimes referred to as Metazoa. All animals including arthropods, which are insects, spiders, and crustaceans, chordata, which are humans, fish, birds, reptiles, and amphibians, mollusks, which are snails, clams, and octopuses, echinodermata, which are starfish and sea urchins, porifera, which are sponges, are a part of the Animalia kingdom. This kingdom is a part of the Eukarya domain. All members of Animalia are multicellular, can move around, and are heterotrophic, with the holozoic nutrition category, which has three types: carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. Carnivores rely on other organisms as their food source. Examples include lions, sharks, and eagles. Herbivores are organisms that rely on organic materials such as plants as their food source. Examples include manatees, caterpillars, and snails. Omnivores can either eat organisms and plants as their food source. Examples include humans, bears, and birds. Since the organisms have animal cells, they do not have a cell wall or chloroplast due to the need for movement and flexibility. Members of the animal kingdom reproduce either sexually or asexually. The sixth and last kingdom is fungi. Fungi are members of the eukaryote domain, and its cell will contain a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. The heterotrophic type for fungi is saprophytism, which are organisms that feed off dead and decaying matter. They digest food externally. They use digestive enzymes onto their food source to break down from the outside before the nutrients are absorbed from the microorganisms such as yeast, molds, and as well as the more familiar mushrooms. They are multicellular, cannot move around, and have cell walls, but aren't traditionally made of cellulose, but instead from chitin. The most common type of fungi you may see are mold, mushrooms, and yeast. You typically see the mold on pieces of food that's expired or has gone bad by sitting in moist areas for quite some time, and it's not safe to consume, unlike some mushrooms, which are safe, and yeast that can be used in like baking with dough. Fungi produce through a process called mitosis, which is when a parent cell divides into two identical daughter cells and takes place in the nucleus. An example of mitosis in fungi is yeast, which produce asexually through a process called budding, where small buds grow on a parent cell until it separates and becomes a genetically identical copy.